Welcome to our first episode on our YouTube channel, and it's something about our home.
Yeah. This is a home tour.
Home tour
and it's story
time.
Exactly.
Exactly. Story time of really what's been happening since we've been on a break. Why do I keep saying like if we've ever been on YouTube? But if you know, you know.
Yeah. We have a podcast, guys. So if you're just coming across this page or this whatever channel for the first time, you would be very confused if you don't follow us on Instagram at Naomi and Bennie. And that's where basically our podcast link is. But we'll also link it here in the comment section below.
Yeah, we'll link it.
Like straight into it.
Yeah, story time. So, as you can see, our beautiful house is where we live, obviously, as sisters.
Yeah.
But also with our spouses.
That's crazy. We live together. That's what she's trying to say.
We're trying to say we live together.
Yeah, in summary.
Yeah.
She's opposite me in my room. She's opposite my room. She lives opposite my room.
Yeah, you see our room, you see everything in the home tour video. In the home tour part of the video.
Yeah. And
if you don't already know, like, we are in Cyprus.
Yes, this is Cyprus.
There's a whole story. Cyprus. Yes, not Cyprus. There's a whole story of how we relocated here. And when we first got here, or when she first got here, because I was here 6 months
6 months
before,
earlier.
We were living in the same apartment building but different flats. But now we live together, and here's how we came to living together.
So we're actually living in when I moved into my apartment with my husband. She moved in, she had her own apartment with her husband. Yeah. And then fast forward to 6 months after I've been here, we decided that we wanted to cut down expenses, right? On both ends. So, and I'm sure if you're abroad you can relate, like housing can be a tad bit expensive.
Yeah, plus they're increasing the rent.
Yes, plus they were increasing the rent of our previous house. Yeah. And also the conditions were insane. Like the conditions of living. They would, like, you would pay for 7 months, and then they expect you to stay for 6 months. But now they're going to make it worse, which means you stay for 8 months, but you pay for 8 months and then you stay for 6 months.
Yeah, something stupid
it was
like
insane.
That. The terms on the contract were like, no, we're not doing it. Yeah. And then we both knew. I mean, when my 1 year rent was up was when her 6 months rent was up. Exactly. And that's on the same day it was expiring for the two houses, and we knew that we did not want to stay in that building again. And we started our house search, our house hunting, and found out that, like, just all around Cyprus there has been this inflation. There had been this inflation, and prices were crazy. And then there was a house,
correct,
a 3-bedroom duplex house owned by, or not owned, rented in
by one of our friends.
The person living in it was our friend who was going to leave Cyprus back to Nigeria for good. So she was like, you don't have to go through the stress of house hunting in Cyprus because it's stressful. You could just take up my house, and her house was big enough for the two couples to coexist and have our privacy and everything. So, and we're going to have, since it was a 3-bedroom, we're going to have my room, your room,
and a
then
spare
our
room.
Studio.
Correct.
Because we knew we were going to come back in video form from the podcast, and so we wanted to do up the studio room and shoot from there and everything. And then
we got side-eyed.
Bombastic
side-eyed. We were served breakfast.
Yes.
And for those who don't know what that means, we were basically like the plans changed.
Drastically.
Putting it very.
So we went from
calmly.
knowing where we were going to move into when our rent expired.
Exactly.
And because of that plan we had, we were not doing any house hunting whatsoever.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, breakfast was served, or plans changed
a few days before the rent was supposed to expire.
Before we were to move into that house. Correct. Exactly. And so what that meant was we had 2 days, less than a week, to do our house hunting.
Correct.
And
so we're in a tight corner.
Very tight corner. It's a process that should have taken us 3 months.
Exactly.
That we now had to do in 1 week or less.
Exactly. And so you would see us on the streets of Cyprus, basically moving from house to house. You know, we'd go look at a house and it's not convenient for two couples, because at this point we had established the fact that it's more financially friendly to live together. And then we are looking for houses, and then there's always like a disappointment after another. There's one disappointment after the other, and then we now, at what point did we get this house?
One night. It was on Peter's WhatsApp status, my husband's WhatsApp status, where he saw, because at this point, all our 4 phones, we had agents' numbers, updates on houses around town, and then it was just one of those updates that popped up on WhatsApp status for Peter, from Peter's contact, that there was a 2-bedroom house with 3 months rent, because we didn't want to do that 6 months, 7 months rent thing.
Just in case there was any need to get out and move to a different place.
Exactly. So he saw the 3 months rent for a 2-bedroom in the location we liked, preferred. Yes, so we came to check it out that same evening. Immediately he messaged like, oh, can we see, can we inspect it? He was like, yeah, but a lot of people are interested in the house, so you want to come now. And then we asked for location for the house, and then we're waiting outside our former building for the agent to come pick us up to inspect the house. And then when the car finally arrived, and we just drove by 1 minute from our house. We're like, we could have even walked down if we knew this was the exact location. And then we showed up at this house and we took a tour.
It was quite literally too good to be true.
Quite literally too good to be true that we did what?
That we genuinely thought that it was a scam.
Yeah, and we saw the house, we liked it, it was amazing, but we're like, okay, on to the next.
We kept on looking out for other houses.
Like, this one, how can you say all of this is for less than what we used to pay before? Doesn't make sense. So we continued suffering ourselves under the sun.
And it got to the point that this house had even, like, they had said that this house had been given to someone else. Someone else had taken the house. So we genuinely thought that this option was gone. And so when we were looking for other houses, we were like, time is running out. This is like a day to 2 days to the day we were supposed to move out.
To be kicked out.
And we had no place, no deposit had been paid for anywhere. We're not sure where we're going to stay. It was nerve-wracking. And then at this point, I think it was the day that we're supposed to move out, that we just packed our things a day before. In faith. That we would know where we would stay. The night before. On our way back from looking for like our normal house hunting process, I had asked Peter, her husband, so this house, because I hadn't seen the house, I and my husband, it was her and her husband that saw the house. So we're like, this house that you guys said was too good to be true and was so amazing, that they had obviously told us that had been given to someone else. Can we call and just confirm? I don't even know why I said that, because I mean, if the house is gone, it's gone.
Then why are you calling?
So why you know? And then I'm like, please, just ask him, like, we have the money. If like this house is available, then just let us know that, like, we would be willing to pay immediately. And so just as a step of faith, he just made the call, like, just in case. And upon making that call, he found that this house was still available. That was mind-blowing. And it was literally the night before the day we moved out, of which even at that point we were still not sure exactly what was going on. And then the next day happened.
Yeah, the next day was moving out day.
Correct.
So we had done like the major packing the night before, like she said, and then the morning of we're just like putting stuff together. And at 12 o'clock, our former house landlord cut our lights, cut our water, just to make the process
basically
stressful.
Saying get the hell out.
Just to make the process stressful. You're unpacking your whole life.
No Wi-Fi, no nothing.
God, a house we had lived for 1 year, a house they had settled in for at least 6 months. You're uprooting all of that, and then you don't have lights, you don't have water to even like. Thank God, all of us just somehow took our bath really early that morning, and then that's how we're able to just like scale through.
It was on the day that we moved into this house that I saw this house for the first time, because it was that morning we came to view the house. I and my husband. I and my husband.
Yes.
Alongside like you and Peter. The 4 of us came to see this house, and then we just said, okay. I mean, it could be a scam, but
so how did you feel the first time you came, knowing that this is the last day, last chance for house hunting, the day you're going to be kicked out from your former house?
Yeah.
When you came in here that day, Like, was your spirit accepting the place? Like,
I mean, I loved the house based on our specification. The only thing that was missing was just, we wanted like a neutral room. But we could easily do without that because it had every other thing we had prayed for. A balcony, the 2 rooms were the exact same size. And if you know Cyprus, then the 2 rooms are usually like different sizes, different beds, different everything. Yeah. You would know that one is a master bedroom and one is just an extra.
Like very little, tiny room, small space.
But in our case, miraculously, the 2 rooms were the exact same size. And then the house, the interiors were both
our
liking.
Taste, yes. Exactly what we wanted.
So I loved it. The only issue was just, oh God, let this not be a scam.
Yeah, because it was indeed
too good to be true.
To be true. So the story behind this house and why we were scared that it was like it could be a scam was because the former occupant of the house had to leave abruptly.
Yeah.
So when we inspected this house, the first time I did, and even when they came,
correct,
the house looked like it was occupied.
Correct.
Clothes in the wardrobe,
correct,
pots in the kitchen, plates, spoons, everything. And we're like, how can we, in good faith, pay the rent for this house, move in, and be sure that nobody's going to come and kick us out the next day?
Exactly.
Like, is this a really vacant house, or is it a house that someone lives in and you guys are just trying to make money off of it? So we're just trying to be very careful, and somehow like all our fears were
dispersed. Because this is how many months later?
This is like 4 months later.
We moved in March.
Yes.
March, April, May, June, July. 5 months.
5 months. March, April, May, June, July.
5 months later, and we are still here. We love the place. It's gorgeous.
Yes.
And we're very happy.
We are. How is it living with your sister and her husband?
I love it. I mean, we thought it was going to be terrible because it's just like 2 couples, 4 people in one house. You never see that anywhere.
Exactly.
But I think we expected it to be terrible because when we now moved in together and everything just blended in seamlessly, it was like, how exactly is this happening? We barely have issues, fights, quarrels. It's just the weirdest thing. What about you? How is it like living with us?
The most evident thing about this living arrangement is the peace of God and peace from God. It's so peaceful.
Correct.
Normally, a 2-bedroom should even feel too small for a single couple, like a husband and wife, and having a free room for guests. It should feel choking already. But this is 2 couples.
Very true.
Who are also like very private people.
Very true.
I don't know, it's just the peace of God.
And like, it's such a blessing, like what she said, it's such a blessing. It genuinely feels like God just kept this house for us, made the owner buy it at the time he bought it, and just arranged everything ahead of time so that we wouldn't have to struggle. And
made him get fed up at the time he needed to get fed up to leave for us to come in.
And then made it such that this was a better location than our previous home.
Right.
This is directly opposite the supermarket, directly opposite the bus station. Is it bus station?
The bus stop.
Bus stop, directly opposite the most important places, and it's just easily accessible.
When we go shopping, we roll the trolley back home and return it back to them.
Literally.
We don't carry bags, and it's so close to everything we've always needed.
So convenient.
And
I think what you can even take from this is like, God is very proactive. I remember Nana, we used to say that Aisha will not be on the streets sleeping because the timing was so, but as at the time we were still panicking and all of that, this house was already presented to us, prepared for us. So much so we moved in, we had a pot that was enough for all of us to cook with.
Yes.
It was just a perfect arrangement.
Because even the pot I used in the former house was just enough for me and my husband. But now that we're cooking for 4, because Bennie would make breakfast, I'll make dinner, and then we cook for. We don't do separate meals. She cooks for all of us,
and she cooks for all of us
at different times, basically. And then we found the right size of pots, everything we need. There's nothing we need that we do not have.
Very true. Very true.
It's the proactiveness of God. Proactivity.
It's correct.
The proactiveness of God. He went ahead and while we're overthinking, over-planning, over-searching. It was prepared, it was ready, and we walked into it. Hallelujah.
Glory.
Thank you, Jesus.
Okay.
Sorry.
So that being said, if this video blessed you guys, blessed you guys.
Yes. if it blessed you, if it
Entertained
inspired
you,
entertained you, then we have done our job.
Yeah.
Because on our channel, this is exactly what you can expect: faith, lifestyle, relationship, and all of that.
All
Inspiration.
Yeah. So if you liked this video,
thumbs up,
subscribe,
comment,
and all those good
share,
stuff.
and everything.
Take care and see you on our next video.
See you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.